Welcome to the Diamond Las Vegas Open, $25,000 added WPA sanctioned event being held at the Rio All Suites Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada, sponsored by Predator, CueSports International, Diamond Billiard Products, Kamui, and Omega Billiards. What a match we have here. This is the hot seat match featuring, well, first and foremost, this is George Teachea with the one and only Jimmy White.
Well, thanks, George. And yeah, you're about to introduce this European tilt.
Yeah.
We're going to be fortunate enough to be able to cover here. Poland versus Holland. Very well-known Niels Feijen, Terminator. And he's playing a far lesser-known player from Poland, Mieszko Fortunski. And I can tell you, Mieszko, he's been a handful. This is a winner's side match, as you've noted. It's the hot seat match, so neither of these players have tasted defeat yet. And with a field of monsters, they've made their way through to this clash here. Day 4, over 100 players took part, and there's only a handful left.
And this is an alternate break format. It's a race to 7. Being played on 9-foot tables, diamond 9-foot tables on the Predator XK2 cloth.
George, I can tell you, if Mieszko breaks like that, it's going to be a very short day for Niels Feijen. Perfect break.
He's been playing solid. I've watched him throughout the tournament. I mean, we had him on the stream once before, and he played real solid. And here we go again. He's off to a solid start with the break, like you just mentioned.
Yeah, look where he's parked the cue ball.
Center table. Wow. Is that like, that's the first time we've seen that, just perfect center table. Nothing touched it. Got away with not being bumped or anything. Anyway, he's played as solid as I've seen, as has Niels.
So it looks like he's going to play the combination here, leave the 1 right there as well.
You know, this guy, when he plays, he looks like he's practicing. Left-hander from a 27-year-old left-hander from Poland.
George, that's the key in big-time pressure pool. Play like it means nothing when it means everything.
It looks like he's practicing when you watch him play. He pretty much doesn't really take too much time. He just winds up, rears back, and fires. Just watch. 1, 2, hitting the ball.
Mieszko took out the younger Ko brother, Ping Chung Ko, 7-2, a convincing win en route to this match against Niels.
Let's see if I can give you the tournament pedigree here. Started out defeating Vilmos Foldes. Yeah, my iPad went nuts here on me. Then defeated Matt Edwards, Billy Thorpe, Justin Hall, Jeffrey Ignacio, Ko Ping Chung.
He's taken care of a lot of different countries in that list.
Yes, he has. And he's played solid. Like I said, I was impressed by watching him play his match on the stream table. And and I've watched his progress along through the tournament, and he's been extremely solid.
Niels Feijen gets the balls on the table to break rack number 2. And it was also very interesting to note that when players were warming up, I didn't see Niels hit anything other than breaks. That's all he did. He practiced the break from both sides of the table.
Well, as they say in 9-ball, the break is probably one of the most important shot.
It's the first one you hit.
Yep. Got to get started. Niels' route to the hot seat is he defeated James Aranas, Mark Bistrobosch, Ko Ping, Alex Pagalian, Kin Lin Wu, and Carlos Ariel Castro from Argentina.
Yeah, 7-1 he beat Casto. So both of these players here with convincing wins.
And
Neil's just reminding Mieszko to mark the score. The players just flip the cards or scorecards out there in the CSI arena. And that way everyone in the crowd can come in here. If they're coming in late, they're going to be able to take a look and they'll know the score. Opposite eye dominant. Very familiar look of Niels Feijen over the cue. He needs that 3 to stop, and it did just to leave him the 1-4 combination into the top left corner.
The winner of this match is guaranteed $10,000, as the worst he can do is place second. The loser will go on to play the winner of the one-loss side and then try to fight his way back into the final match against the winner for their $15,500 first prize.
Yeah, the big concern for Niels here is where the one's going to go, because it's just off straight, knocking that 4 in. So controlling the cue ball and that 1 priority. And that was always going to be the danger, George. A good chance to play a good attacking safety, though. But he'd rather be shooting.
Well, of course.
That is possibly a very thin cut on the 1. Tough to tell from our camera angle whether he can make this. It's very thin.
As I look at the table, wow, it's extremely thin. Let's see how he lines up. It looks like he's going to hit half a ball. He spun it in. What a pretty shot. Didn't look that accessible.
No,
from
our overhead
that
camera
angle.
made it look like it was more than a 90-degree cut, didn't it?
It sure did. And you guys are seeing what we're seeing at home. So what we're seeing on the screen here, you're seeing at home. There's a more familiar view. And he looks like he's on the right path to his own break and run.
If nothing else, you keep the pressure on your opponent.
Alternate break format, race to 7. 3-point rule, 3 foul rule in effect.
Yeah, and that 3-point rule, any combination of 3 balls pocketed or balls passing the head string for a legal break.
Those are the sponsors, Predator, and Ergberun Foley.
Whoever they are.
That's a manufacturing plant out of Poland. Very humble, very nice kid, nice guy. Shouldn't call him a kid. He's 27 years old.
He's a kid to us, George.
Well, he's 40 years my younger. I've got 2 children older than he is.
Yeah, this is systematic too for Niels. This is what we've almost come to expect from him. He's like a machine out there.
Yeah, I've seen it all tournament long. All 4 days of Niels has been just like that. Both of them, actually. I think you guys are in. We're all in for a great treat here. We almost saw perfection when we had Shane on the stream table a couple matches ago. And about the only mistake he made in losing his match was missing a 4-ball at 5-5. And James Aranas did the clearance, and then he broke and ran out for the match, beating him 7-5.
Yeah, it took 1 miss.
Yeah.
I mean, they just kept holding holding serve effectively, winning every rack that they broke, and apart from that one miss on the 4, as you've noted. And I watched that match too. I mean, Shane really didn't play bad, but that's all it took, one miss at this level. Scary, isn't it?
Yeah, and unfortunately, it wasn't, you know, a really difficult shot. It was just one of those funny lane shots that got away from Shane. Rarely happens. But when he sat down, he took his glove off.
Yeah, we saw Alban Ocean do that last night.
It worked well for him the first time. He got to come back to the table. And the second time, he never took it off a second time.
Again, very measured, very controlled break.
One ball wants to bounce. It did. Did it bounce enough? It looks like, oh.
Well, again, our camera angle can be deceptive. It looks like he can cut this in, George.
He's cutting it.
He's got to swing the cue ball with a lot of right-hand spin. It's going to be tracking over towards that, too. You'd have to be very unlucky not to land on it.
He's going to try to land where he is right now, because that's the only thing he can do. He can go 3 rails, just barely miss the 2, and give himself a position where he's at now.
Again, look at the cue ball after the break.
Dead center.
Doesn't want to hit the 2.
No, he's perfect.
And he didn't.
Dead.
That's perfect.
Jeez. Pinpoint.
And this is a big shot. This is really the shot of the rack. He's got to get onto the 4 from here. And the 4 just above the 5 in the middle of the table. It's available to the side pocket, but that brings that 6 into play, so he's really got to be careful here. Well, pardon me, that's not, no, that's the 7.
He's missed the 2 ball.
Yikes.
Going back and forth to get on the right side of the table for the 5. I thought he might come back to where the cue ball was for the 5. Well,
no, that's the first real bad mistake we've seen. And Niels, you know, the way the ball's dropped, with the 5 now being the next ball on, he didn't have to do anything. He had the 2 dead in, stop it dead, and now they're there for the taking.
now will he go 2 rails around the 6 or come up between the 7 and the 9? Or just draw back into the 7? Yeah, he had more angle than that, huh?
Yeah, it's no problem, though, contacting the 6. It was always going to be okay. Quick look, and a ball that I thought was the 4, the 7, does pass into the side.
Will you risk getting hooked by the 9? And play it in the side. That's exactly what he's doing.
And you won't see that look on his face change either. Just pure focus.
For 4 days. That man's been pure focus every time he's come to the table. I mean, in the 4 days he's been here. This is the 4th day of this tournament.
Yeah, you know, to play this game at this level and to perform at the level these guys do, it's almost a form of relaxed concentration. And Niels capitalizing from that mistake, and that one could prove costly. 2-1, he's in front, but he's breaking in rack number 4. Now for Mieszko, he's got to try and put all those negative thoughts out of his mind. Easier said than done.
Probably the first ball he's missed.
And Niels will break from the same side of the table as his last effort.
We don't have a Fargo score for Mr. Fortunski, but Niels is 807, so he's way up there, probably in the top 15.
Well, again, a wide open shot. Good break. Cue ball was dead center of the table before it was kicked by the 3. But he's still got a wide open look at the 1. And if he can get back to the center of the table, that'll afford position to the 2. Doesn't want to get cute here. You know, what I like when I see players like Niels, watch that cue after it goes through the white. It follows straight through on the intended path.
There's a good shot of it, too.
Just delivers it perfectly every time. And that is countless hours of practice. That doesn't happen naturally, folks, I promise you.
I thought all instinctive players had that kind of a swing. I'm kidding, folks. That's a lot of hard work. Years of play. He's a 41-year-old. He's 42 years old. Well, has held just about every title. I think he's held every title in Europe.
Yeah, the Hall of Fame will be calling his name real soon.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of Hall of Fame, Alex Pagulayan was put out, and he actually finished. Pagulayan finished 9th through 12th. Earned himself $900 for his trip for the last 4 days.
Yeah, he'll be inducted into the BCA Hall of Fame here next week, along with Greg Sullivan and Jansko brothers. And I like they call Greg Sullivan an innovator. I think that's a very accurate word. Starting diamond. Did Mr. Sullivan?
Mm-hmm. I happen to have one of his product tables at home.
I happen to have a few.
In your club, yes, you do.
I'm a big advocate of these tables. They're definitely the choice of all top players. Consistency. That's about all you can ever ask for from any playing equipment.
Playability. The rails they use are those the Aramis rails, I think.
Boy, Niels is wasting a little time again with this rack. He just controls that cue ball so well, just never in trouble.
Not when it's out in the open. He gets it, lays it right where he needs it. Angle to angle to angle.
And quickly moves his score sheet to 3-1. And that mistake from Fortunski, it's cost him 2 racks.
Both of these players will be playing in the World 10 Ball. Begins on Monday. Tomorrow, if you can make your way down to the Rio All Suites Hotel and Casino and back to the CSI Arena, there'll be a qualifying tournament for the last 2 spots out of that 64-man, 64-person field. $45 entry to play in a $100,000 added event. That's pretty sweet. I'm taking the day off.
That's the jewel in the crown here in Vegas next week, isn't it? That's
yeah,
the one
sure
that
is.
That's going to catch the attention of all pool players and fans globally.
The Predator World 10 Ball.
And it'll be coming right to your computers from the CSI Arena here.
You should join us. If you can't make it down here, you should join Jim, Jeremy, and myself. Bring it to you live. We'll be here playing 10 ball, calling 10 ball. And
isn't it funny how the balls remember? You know, that bad miss on the 2, and Now he's been breaking so well.
And cue ball's not in the center this time. Had it been, he'd have a great break. Great look at that 2-ball.
Yeah, being left-handed here doesn't hurt him.
No, not at all. In fact, I think he'll execute this and have position. Good look at the Predator Arcos 2 balls. Oh, nibbled a 7.
Yeah, this one's slipping away from Mieszko. That was the last thing he could afford. And again, this was his break.
This could be a really lopsided score if Neil keeps playing the way he has been.
Yeah, and you can see his face. It's written all over it right now. It's like that saying, isn't it? You only get one chance to make a good first impression.
Yes.
Well, you only really get one opportunity in a match like this, and you've got to take it. And he's let a couple opportunities slip by already.
Yeah. Funny thing is about pool is that every shot is that one chance, especially in a short race to 7. Good example would be Shane's match where he missed that 1 ball.
Yeah, I was going to draw a comparison to that, but now there have been 2 mistakes from Fortunski. And again, Niels, when he's coming to the table, he's never in any trouble.
Niels is sponsored by Langoni, Kamui Tips, ProStar Leo, and Hague's Pool Room. Hague's 5. Floats like a butterfly, stings like a bee.
Yeah, they call him the Terminator. And we already noted that Fortunski's nickname is the Butcher. You went down and asked him why they call him the Butcher.
He says, that's my nickname. I've had it in Poland forever. And that's the best I could come up with. So I just figured he slices and dices the balls so well, they call him the Butcher.
I think that was well put, George. That's I think you may have just given him the tagline. And the storyline is continuing here. That's 4 in a row for the Terminator, and 4-1 his advantage, and he'll break in the next.
Well, I will say, if Mieszko goes on to lose this match, he'll play the winner of the loser bracket, the one-loss side, and I would not count him out. He's playing as well as anybody that I've seen play in this tournament. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw this matchup in the finals.
Yeah, he'll go to the left-hand side of the draw, and he'll probably wait for a couple hours, though, to be playing someone that'll have to work their way to where he slots into that draw. So sometimes that can take you off kilter as well. You know, that long wait between matches.
Well, they're being pretty efficient with the matches going on. I tell you, they're going on all around us. We've got 7 tables on both sides of this arena, of this pit table, and right now there's we've got 2 players over here that are about to get started, and that would be
Neil's just making sure everything's touching. It looked like it was, well, looked like it was going to be acceptable, but not in his mind.
that would be the younger.
And it is, sorry, George, it is a rack your own, is evident here. 1 on the spot. And we've seen the 9 go in a number of times. That's a golden break. That counts. Very often, a lot of tournaments that are rack your own, the 9 is respotted if it's made on the break. Not the case here.
It looks like it's going to be the younger Ko and Wu.
Well, cue ball kicked. But still a possible shot at the 1.
Actually, I believe I was mistaken. I'll take a look.
Problem here, though, down the bottom right, the 6 and 8. So Niels will just survey the situation here. And again, if there's no value in going at the 1, then he won't. He's very measured in his approach. And you'll see no panic in that man's game.
He plans every detail. And then he gets up and executes it.
You know, looking at it from the overhead perspective there, again, we can tell that it isn't exactly as it looks to the player, but looks like a thin cut on the 1. But the cue ball's traveling away from the 2, and position isn't guaranteed. So I'm looking for about a half ball hit here on the 1. Take the cue ball down behind the colors at the opposite end of the table.
Oh, he clipped the 9, but we used the 4. His target area was up against the 6-8. And instead he's found cover behind the 4 ball.
Yeah, Mieszko's looking at that left-hand cushion as he looks. Top cushion as we look from the overhead camera. And he's going to be cueing right over the 6 and the 8. That's going to make life more difficult.
We are playing all ball fouls, so.
And Niels is calling for a referee as well. So he's just motioned. And John Lehman has just come in to have a look at this. Like it's all fouls. So he's got to be careful cueing over these balls too. And I won't be happy with that.
He gave it the old college try, but ball came back across the 3 and sat in front of the pocket.
So Niels is already eyeing up the 6, possible 6-8 combination where he can get that cue ball to be able to attack that. As Mieszko looks on, so effectively thinking 5 shots ahead. The 1, 2, 3, and 4, all in the same half.
Using that inside English, comes right back over to the same side.
Yeah, it's going to be all on that 6 ball, George.
Yeah,
That's going to be the key ball in this rack.
I look for him to cut the 8 in with the 6 and then play the 6 ball for the opposite corner. I don't believe he'll try to break it. He's a little elevated here, maybe.
Well, he's going to have a perfect angle if this 4 goes by the 7 into the side pocket, and it looks like it does.
Yeah.
He's going to be able to drop that cue ball right where he wants to go at that 6. Just checking it out now. It's got to be pinpoint position on that 4.
Funny thing here, though, with these 2 guys in the hot seat. Niels is 22nd on the AZB money list, and Mieszko is 85th. He won't be 85th anymore.
So this is a shot. Now Niels can get that cue ball. The way he's looking at this, that 4 definitely goes by the 7 in the side. So he can get that cue ball right where he's holding his cue. And again, that's going to leave the 6-8. So controlling position and where that 6 goes, that'll be the issue. So
Precisely where he wanted it.
part 1 accomplished. So the speed is everything here.
I think what he just pointed to is where he thinks the 6 ball will end up.
tell you what, if he didn't like the 6, I mean, he could roll and freeze that cue ball on the 8, marry the cue ball to the 8, and it'd take all cushions away. But again, these players like to fire. It's just he wants to be certain in his mind. And that uncertainty of where that 6 is going is what's bothering him.
There's a great look at those Predator balls. Perfect. And the ball came up exactly as he planned.
How beautifully he controlled that.
And Mieszko Fortunski about to go down 5 games to 1 in a race to 7 in an alternate break format. Hard to regain those, but we've seen them get. We've seen players come back from that deficit.
Not on the main table. I haven't.
I saw a 4-0.
I saw 4-0. I have a 6-2 was overhauled on one of the outside tables, but.
But not against someone playing as solid and as precise as Niels has exhibited.
Yeah, that 4-0 match. That was the very first one that we did here. Gomez, Kevin Chang ended up coming back on Gomez. He was 4-0 ahead. Chang ended up beating him 7-5. This was the first match we did on the main table. But 5-1 now confirmed from the CSI Arena.
And left-handed sensation from Poland about to break the balls. I don't believe he can afford to go down another game. See if he gets his center table break. Cue ball in the middle of the table and a good look at the 1.
Yeah, I think there will be a little venom in this break. He's had a couple bad misses.
He does use the Predator BK Rush to break the balls.
And I didn't hear anything go down.
No, there's 9 balls on the table. This could get out of hand if it's not already.
Yeah, I think it's already out of hand. I think it could quickly get ugly. Because this is another golden opportunity here for Niels. And I think Fortunski might already be thinking about his next match.
Look how well he held that cue ball.
Well, he's pretty straight now, and the 3's at the other end of the table. So he's going to have to come with a shot here. You have to play a deep draw and draw this cue ball. Well, he's got a bit of angle, actually, George, so he can slide it over there. Force this, though.
Good look at the number of lights above the table. You can see the reflection on the balls. Just before he shot that. And if you want information about this week's coming Monday's tournament of the Predator World 10 Ball, it's at world10ball.com, as you can see right there on the banner behind the table. Get to see the players list. A couple of players that I know that did not play in this tournament but are in that tournament are Earl Strickland, Jason Shaw, nothing else comes to mind except those 2 guys.
Well, those two are pretty good in their own right.
Good, yeah. In fact, Earl came in when I was watching Niels and the gentleman from Argentina, Castro, Carlos Ariel Castro, Buenos Aires. Had a good showing.
You know, Niels beat the elder Ko Pin-Yi 7-0. Was flawless in that match on the main table here a couple days ago. I'll tell you what, this is another one where he's batting 1,000. He's done nothing wrong. He's broke perfect. Every time he's come to the table with any chance, he's cleared up. And what a message this is sending. Not even so much for this event, but the next one.
The next one, correct.
Because this is scary pool. 6-1.
And breaking. A clearance here, as you say. And we're off. He's off to wait for the winner of the one loss side.
Yeah, guarantees himself 10 grand, so
Sure.
make sure that he looks after the expenses here in Vegas.
Stays away from the casinos.
Assuming he doesn't do any shopping. And again, Neil's also the sort of person, he doesn't buy into the distractions, you know, the casino and everything around him. He doesn't buy into any of that. This guy looks after himself on and off the table. He's a part-time DJ as well as Neil's.
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
Yeah, how about that? I was
There's the dry
praising his accolades and a dry break. Well, welcome to the commentator's curse, George. It'll haunt you one day.
Yeah, it's got me a lot, believe me. There's a good look at his sponsors on his shirt.
But as you'd expect, he's left nothing for Fortunski.
Uh-oh. Well, he found some cover. I think he's got cover behind that 6. Does he have enough cover?
He's looking at a kick.
Yeah.
Option B would be to jump. Niels does jump very well. And I know he carries a jump cue.
Question here is which side does he kick it to? Between the 3-7 or hit the outside, the underside of it, and have the cue ball go that direction? I like actually kicking it, hitting it on the left side, but the side pocket's there. Kind of sending the one ball. Yeah, from there. As he just noted, pointed out with his cue.
A lot of good things can happen with this kick. He's moving that one down towards all the colors, and wouldn't be too surprising if it found cover.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Look at it, he found, no, he didn't. I believe he can see this. Mieszko can see this and possibly bank it. Not sure if it banks past the 9 or not, though. Let's see what he does with it. We can't really see the angle. It's going to play safe. And cover behind the deuce. No, did it leak out? He had cover for a second.
Yeah, you can just get to the edge of it. But if he spins the cue ball a little,
Yeah.
he's looking for about a half ball head here. And just let the cue ball float over the other side of the table. He's got a wall of colors to hide behind.
He's giving it the old spin there.
Oh, double kiss, and cue ball finds the corner pocket. Too thick a contact. And that, if you want to call it a mistake, that's the first real mistake from Niels.
Other than that dry break. That's the only thing hasn't, completed to perfection, really.
Well, let's see if Mieszko can let go of those 2 mistakes that he made, or a couple of mistakes that he made. Looks like.
Yeah, it was a missed 2 in the early going of this match, and then a failed attempt at a pretty simple jump by their standards.
Yeah, when he came across the top of the 7 ball.
He's very smooth, though, isn't he? He's got
Yes.
nice tempo.
I think he reminds me of the way you play.
The way I play?
Did you
Thanks.
say you're a left-handed?
Well, thanks, George. Yeah, my playing career was on a bigger surface than these.
Yeah, yours looked like a football field in a pool hall.
I was making short work of them anyway. If nothing else, he's getting to spend a little table time. You know, some meaningful play here, other than just knocking the balls in on a practice table.
And he should be able to steal one back from Niels.
And he did just that. 6-2, and he'll have the break in the next. But he's definitely going to need a few mistakes from Feijen. And if it did get back to Hill, well, he won the leg, so he's got that going for him.
It's a long way from Hill, though. Niels will have, what, 2 breaks? 6-3. To finish the match out. You'll break after this, so it'll be, let's say things go great for Fortunski. It'll be 6-3 and Niels will be breaking. Then if he breaks dry, it's 6-4. Fortunski's breaking. Niels breaks at 6-5. So you'll have at least 2 breaks to break and run out, or break and control the table.
Yeah, just a nod of disgust as you watch that 2 ball float up just in behind the 6. Can you see enough of that 2 to hold the cue ball behind the 6?
He's trying to, it looks like he's trying to do just that. And he didn't hit it hard enough, did he? Or the angle was not behind those balls. Does he try to cut the 2 ball into the upper corner pocket and then the cue ball handle the 7 to the other pocket?
Oh, Niels
No,
is having a good
that's
look.
not
I'll
there.
tell you what. Look at the 2-9. It's almost a dead hit. He's looking at it, but jeez. Only the score would allow him to try this shot. A lot easier to even look at it when you're 6-2 in front. I guarantee at 4-4, he doesn't even consider it.
Yeah. And 6-2, it's a thought. It's got to be a thought. I can get out of this match right now. Looks like he's going to try to tuck the cue ball in underneath by the 3. And got there.
He's leaning to get that 2 in behind cover. Well, that's a pretty good effort from Niels.
Yep, little 2-rail kick.
Yeah, the problem here too is with the 6 right there, It's not going to be easy to put any distance between the cue ball and the 2, even if he does hit it. So he's going to be trusting to luck a little. And again, hampered cueing right over the 3.
Now, will he try to catch it thin? He did. He tried to catch it real thin and possibly make it. John Lehman, our head referee there.
Yeah, I just noticed John's got the referee's gloves on too.
Yes, he's going all out. John just came back from a trip across the pond.
Well, Niels can leave himself plenty of angle here to get down for the 3. And placing it over here, he'll spin it off 3 cushions. Excuse me. Spin it off 3 cushions and play the 3 bottom left. That takes all the pockets out of the equation here. But he's going to want to leave himself an angle on the 3. The 5's back up the other end of the table. Try and stay high on it.
He gave himself plenty of angle.
Yeah, he didn't hit that one very well at all. I mean, that really wasn't that tough a shot by his standards. He's even just kind of looking at it and surprised himself how badly he hit that one. Still makeable to 3. But now position to the 5 isn't so straightforward.
He's got to decide whether to try to spin past the 9 ball on the left or come to the right of the 9 ball on the right of the 5. Yeah, that inside English got a little tough for him.
Yeah, it was just a horrible shot on the 2.
Distance, though, left plenty of distance. Forces him to either play safe or attempt a bank shot. Leo Longonian Haig.
Well, he flew at the bank. And he's left the 3, but the 5 won't go into that pocket. So Niels has got to get that cue ball back over the right-hand side of the table. Or anywhere where he's showing you now to leave himself a chance even at the side.
This is a tough shot here.
Yeah, if he tries to get below that 5 to play in the side, he's going to have to thump this in and stun the cue ball to the left-hand cushion and just let the natural path of the cue ball track down below the 5. But he'll be playing this at speed.
He did it beautifully.
And he played that about as well as he could. That's still a tricky shot.
Not sure if he can pocket. Oh, the cameraman's right in my way. Oh, he can. He has plenty of balls to take care of. Well, it looks like
The beginning of the end.
yeah, pretty much. 4 balls to go.
That was a great shot on the 5. Bumped the 6 towards the corner. He's got a perfect angle. Bring the cue ball off that side cushion and up for the 7. And you really can't see him failing now.
You know, I'm a little impressed with these Predator Arcos balls. We hit them a little bit, and none of the players have had any negative. I haven't heard any negative comments whatsoever about any of the equipment.
Yeah, that's been a pretty common theme here
Yeah.
all week. And it's almost almost always somebody that finds something negative to say.
Yep.
There's people out there that'll knock home cooking.
Knock home cooking. Well, I must say there are some people that shouldn't try to cook at home. Guys like me. But this should close it out. And we'll be back at 8:30, I believe.
Yeah, it'll be 8:30 tonight. A convincing 7-2 win. Niels over Mieszko. Will Mieszko now have to fight his way back? Loser side of the bracket, but there'll be more action coming your way, folks. Come back and join us around 8:30.